that? How many teams did you meet with? Evaluations did you go through?
So I had 3 workouts. My first workout was with the Boston Celtics, then I went to Oklahoma City, and then to the Brooklyn Nets.
What kind of feedback did you get that were helpful to you?
The feedback was pretty similar between the 3 teams. There's just a couple things that they want to see me improve on. They thought that I probably wasn't going to get drafted, that I could be a G League, 2-way contract type player, and have the opportunity to make a team, but not necessarily get drafted. And some of the feedback from the teams was go back to school and work on these things. And as one of the star players on your team, you have the opportunity to talk to the coaches about what you want and what you need. Some of the feedback from the other teams was leave, go pro as soon as you can. Whether that be G League, overseas, you're going to get better faster. You have the opportunity to play against pros. So there's a little mixed feedback, but similar feedback in regards to where I'd be drafted. So with that feedback, I just prayed about it, thought about it a lot, and I think being a part of BYU basketball is special, and in terms of the coaches care about you. That was the biggest thing throughout this whole process. The coaches were very supportive of me. It was almost like go see if you can do it. You know, like don't even think about coming back. Go do the workouts, go all in, try to live your dream, and then we'll talk about it. So I thought that was amazing. Talked to Coach Rose a lot, and something about him is I respect him so much because he's a guy that cares about you as a person, not just what's going to win games for the team. He cares about you and your future. And knowing that and knowing the type of person he is, I felt I could come back to school, and through working on the things the teams want me to work on, he's going to give me the green light to do those things as long as I'm capable of doing them.
Sounds like you weren't ready for the cold business part of what professional sports is going to be like. You wanted to still nest a little bit and be with your buddies.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's awesome to be at BYU and have teammates that care about you and want to see you succeed. Once you play professional, it's not like that anymore. It's everyone's fighting to put food on the table for their families. But I think going through the G League and doing a deal like Kyle Collinsworth kind of did is something I'm capable of doing. But I'm in a different situation than a lot of players at BYU that didn't go on a mission. I'm young enough that I feel like worst case scenario I can have those same opportunities a year from now.
Looking at the roster as it stands right now, with obviously Eli going and Nick probably coming back, what are your expectations going into next year?
I think that it's going to be the best team that I've played on in the last 3 years by far. I think that we can win the conference tournament. I think we're going to go to the NCAA tournament because the guys we have coming back are older, more mature. We're no longer a young team. My freshman year we had, I think, 6 freshmen and 4 sophomores, you know. We were very young. This last year we still had a lot of young guys, and I think we had a good year. But I think this is the year to break out. We have guys like me and TJ coming back as juniors, Nick coming back as a junior. We have a lot of older guys than the talent we have coming in, and Connor Harding, Gavin Baxter, and Colby Lee. I think they're all elite players, and they all have the potential to be very good Division I players and play professionally. I think those 3, Ryland, Bergerson, they could all be pros. So we have guys that are going to come off the bench this year that are going to play professional basketball.
It sounds like you feel like you match up with Gonzaga. They're just kind of the leader of this league, and it sounds like you're closer to matching up with them than in years past. Yeah,
absolutely. I think we're finding a really good balance. I think in my freshman year, the emphasis was on getting the ball out, going, pace. This last year, we slowed it down a lot, but we didn't push it in transition, so our offense wasn't as good. And I think we're finding that right balance of how to play with pace, how to push it in transition and look at those opportunities, but also be a defensive-minded team and a deep team that can switch ball screens. We have length. We have really smart players. So I think this is a year that it can all come together and we can do something special.
Yoeli, what did you think about your own evaluation of yourself during the process of competing against better players and doing these tryouts? Because you talked about what the teams have told you. What did you think? How did it feel to you that you were able to compete with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very confident in myself. In the workouts, it wasn't like I was going up against guys and I was like, whoa, this guy's so good, you know. I think especially physically, athletically, I'm already there. It's just the little things of my skill, footwork, switching ball screens, and shooting the ball more consistently. Those things I knew I had to work on and continue to get better at. So I just kind of tried to look at it in an open perspective. I think it's a balance of being confident in yourself and your abilities, but but also being open to the feedback and seeing what the teams think. Because you could think you're the best player in the world, but if you're not going to get drafted, then you can't just lead, you know.
Speaking of professionals and whatnot, that as you were going through the same process, Eli kind of comes out and announces the same thing. You guys are going through sort of similar things, but he obviously hires an agent. How much contact did you have with him? Did you talk with him pretty frequently as you were both kind of traveling around, going to workouts?
Yeah, me and Eli talked quite a bit. We talked yesterday. So Eli's always going to be like a brother to me. I think we're always going to stay in contact, always be close. We really built a bond this year. But me and Eli's situations are just different, very different. He's going to be 23 at the time of the draft. He's getting his degree. He's like one class away. So we're just in very different positions in our life. He's married. He's kind of at that point in his life where he's ready to be a pro. And in his situation, I don't know how much good for himself and his future coming back would do.
Are you on track to graduate in 3, or where are you at in education?
I'm on track to graduate in 4 years.
There was some talk a few weeks ago that an Australian team had made an offer to you. Is that something that happened? Can you take us through that? It did?
Just through different people talking to me, through our AAU coach, different teams overseas have expressed interest and made offers for contracts, but that's not like a first option. That's kind of a plan C.
You during the latter part of the season, you really started to shoot from distance and doing it confidently. Is that part of what they suggested that you work on more, and have you done that and you feel good about shooting threes?
Yeah, for sure. I think my three-point shot's gotten a lot better even since the end of the season. I think I'm a lot more confident there. I think something that's been big is working on the NBA three, shooting from there. Now when I step into the college three, it feels like a mid-range jumper. I really think after doing that, I think every college player should do it. I think every college player should take a month and just work on shooting NBA threes and pull-ups from there, because it makes the college three, high school three area so easy. But yeah, teams want to see me shoot the ball more consistently. They think athletically I'm a guy that can guard multiple positions, someone that can play hard, get rebounds, but they just want to see me be able to stretch the floor better than I can right now.
How much of your development is going to be structured around what BYU needs you to do, and how much of it is, you know, what you think you can be at the next level?
I think that's the best part about coming back for me, is that the things that I need to do to prove that I can play in the NBA and the things I need to do this year for us to be very successful are the same thing. Through meeting with Coach Rose, the things he wants me to do for the team are the exact things that NBA teams want to see, so I think it's a perfect fit.
Eli, there are those out there. Eli, I said it, didn't I?
One more time.
Didn't I? There are those outside the program, they're not in the locker room, that would look at Erik and Eli leaving as being a negative to the program. How would you tell those people that things are cool in the program, things are good?
I think every single person in our program knows that they do the best thing for them. A lot of people look at Erik's situation. I'm very close with Erik. He's really like a brother to me. I call him for advice, things of that nature, and he made the right choice. No matter what people want to believe, I look at it from a different perspective. Me and Erik have a relationship that was kind of built around the church, a relationship where he met with missionaries with me. He was at my baptism. So Erik's a very spiritual guy, and he did all the right things, you know. He lived right, he prayed about it, and he felt the right thing to do for his life, and his future was to play professional basketball, and he couldn't be happier. People may say a lot of things like, oh, I bet he would have been happier if he stayed. He's happy. He loves his life, and he made the right decision for him and his family. And same thing with Eli. They're both great guys, and they're doing what's right for them and their future. And in terms of our program, I think it's great for guys to go play professional basketball. I mean, everyone has a different timeline, everyone has a different process, but it shows that BYU is a place where you can come and go make money playing basketball.
Sorry if I missed this earlier, but how much of a factor, if any, was Nick's sort of return to the program and feeling there's an opportunity there to do something?
Nick's a great guy. I love Nick. I saw him a lot this summer and talked to him. I'm really excited to play with him. As you guys know, he's an elite player, especially offensively. He works his butt off, and I'm excited to play with him. I knew whether he was going to come back or not that we would have a very good team. That's not a knock against Nick. It's more just knowing the quality of players we have. Rylan Bergerson, I think, is going to have a breakout year. TJ is going to have an amazing year. McKay's an amazing guard. You know, I think we just have so many great players that even if I didn't come back, they would have a really good year.
You mentioned him a little before, but how excited are you to play with Gap? You guys kind of were in high school at the same time.
I'm so excited. I played 2 years with him in AAU. It was me, him, Connor Harding, and Frank, who's working out in there right now. And he's an electrifying player. He's so fun to play with. I remember all the time in AAU, I'd go down on the block, do my jump hook, and see him cutting back, just airball it long for him. He'll just go up and get it. He had some unbelievable plays. He's an unbelievable athlete. Just seeing him work out and shoot this close off his mission, he could impact a game right now, especially on the defensive end. He's so long, he's so athletic, and he's going to do so many great things for us this year.
So what's your timeline for the next month or so now that you've made your choice?
The next month, I think it's awesome. I think every player should put their name in the draft if they had a good year, because instead of wondering like, okay, this is what people think NBA teams want me to work on, this is what I think they need, you can go in and you can go get the answer key. You know, it's like getting the answer key before a test. You know exactly what you need to do, and it's motivation to go work on those things. Everything that teams want to see me do, they want to see me guard multiple positions, stretch the floor, and play harder than anyone else on the court. And it's awesome because those 3 things are things that are in my control. It's nothing like we need you to be more athletic. We wish you were taller. You know, so I kind of know exactly what I need to work on and exactly how to do it. So it's really exciting, and I think I can spend this off season working harder than I ever have.
More in there. It seems like you've done a lot of studying about being healthy and keeping yourself fit and protecting your body. Could you take us through that thought process and what you've learned and, might be helpful to others?
Yeah, I think taking care of your body is huge. I think it's something that, especially as college-age kids, high school kids, they don't put enough thought into it, and it's a huge part for recovery. It's huge for building your body, building muscle, and I think eating right is huge. I mean, look at Eli and Kyle coming back from knee injuries. I think the biggest part of that is probably the way they ate and the way they took care of their bodies. If you look at guys in the NBA right now, the way they eat prolongs their careers. It really does. And if you just want to feel better, play better, your knees to hurt less, cutting junk out of your diet will help you a lot. And for me personally, I was kind of a late bloomer. I was a fat kid all the way until I probably got to BYU. I was 6'2", 235 in 8th grade. So I'm 225 right now, 6'8". So, I mean, for me as a late bloomer, someone that wasn't always super athletic, someone that wasn't always quick, lifting weights and eating right is huge for me in my progression.
Did Kyle influence you this way? I mean, he's really into it, and he publishes a lot of things and tweets about it, does a blog. Did he influence you, or do you have some other avenues that you
I think Kyle more influenced Eli because they were here at the same time. My freshman year, Kyle was already gone, so I'm not as close with him like that. But right after my senior year in high school, that's when I started taking it really seriously because I knew I wanted to come and make an impact right away as a freshman, and I knew that I had to get there athletically and get there physically to make that impact right away.
So did Eli have a lot of impact this way?
No, I just kind of researched on my own.
Yoeli, what's your thoughts on the schedule as it's starting to take shape? I don't know if Coach has talked to you about it, but there's been some things out about playing Mississippi State, Nevada, those kind of teams. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think that's what it's all about. If you look at St. Mary's last year, it doesn't really matter how many games you win anymore. It matters about your strength of schedule. So we have to play these kind of teams. The conference we're in is very top-heavy. The teams at the bottom of our conference are still very good teams, but they're not ranked very high in the RPI. So it's become more analytics than it is about wins and losses. So I think it's really important to schedule teams that have a high RPI, schedule top 25 teams, and go out and beat them.
Anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask more about the vegan diet. So you're vegan, no dairy.
Yeah.
What's keeping you up at night, man? What do you miss the most?
What do I miss the most? It's hard. Probably like mac and cheese.
Okay.
Cheese is so good, but you know, the more you research it, the grosser it gets. So if you guys ever want to try being vegan, just go watch some videos on how cheese is made. Go watch some of these animals getting killed, and probably won't want to do it anymore. But I think I've been trying a vegan diet for about 7-8 weeks, I think now, and I feel great. I mean, my knees hurt less, my body feels good. I've cut body fat, so I think it's great.
What's something you can eat that just goes down easy and you can eat all day?
I eat beans and rice all the time,
Beans and
like burritos, stuff like that. I eat like a lot of carb type stuff.
So in a place where ice cream is like a food group here, I mean, do you get shamed for it? Or anything?
No, frozen yogurt,
Okay.
right up the street.
Thank you very much.
You say it helps your knees. How does that work? What's the process of your knees being more healthy?
I have no idea. Do you know? We got a vegan guy back there. Cameras can't see. I don't know, but it's working for me, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Anything else?
Yoeli, I'm a little late to the game, forgive me, but I was going to ask you about Erik Nika. Have you been in contact with him through this whole process? Has he helped you, whether to test the NBA waters or to make the decision to come back?
Yeah, for sure. One of the first things I did after I put my name in the draft was called Erik, asked advice, what were the workouts like, what do I need to do to be ready for them, and I think that day we talked for 3 hours on the phone. So Erik's always been a guy that I look up to. He's kind of like an older brother to me. He's someone that I go to for advice, someone that he's just a great guy. He's one of the best guys you'll ever meet, and I love learning from him and just talking to him.
Okay. Thanks, Yoeli.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.